Jumbi, cheer up, get right, back to Jumbi. Okay, I kind of touched on this last class. Today we're going to jump right into it. We're not going to spend too much time warming up. My best idea of warm up is to ease into the activity that you're doing. So with the recent test, I have a few students that did pass, that did get promoted. We're going to work on one of their new forms today. You don't know the form? That's fine. You can still follow along. The form that we're going to be doing today is Pagwayan Samchen. Pagwayan Samchen. That's the third 8-sided form. Okay, we're going to break it down by thirds today. So we'll do the first third, the second third, the final third, and then we'll put it all together. So the first 7 movements. So to the left, do a low block, step forward punch. To the rear, low block, step forward punch, 4, 5, low block, high block, high block. Good, back to the beginning. To the left, low block, punch, low block, punch, low block, high block, high block. Good. One more time. Moving to the left, we're going to low block, punch, to the rear, low block, punch, low block, high block, high block. That's the first 7 movements. So starting from the high block, 7, we're going to step forward punch, 8, Kia. From here we're going to go 9, middle chop. Nice big back stance, stepping off the center line at a 45, middle chop. 270 degrees over our right shoulder, middle chop. Once again stepping off the center line, middle chop. What is that, 9, 10, 11, 12. In, out. In, out. Make sure you're in a nice solid back stance, stepping backwards, out in, out in. Give yourself enough room so you don't run into the wall like I did. So, starting from the high block, stepping forward, middle punch, ice, all the way around, middle chop, middle chop, middle chop, middle chop. In, out, stepping backwards, out in, out in. One more time. Starting from the high block. Stepping forward, middle punch, ice. All the way around. Middle chop. Middle chop. Middle chop. Middle chop. In, out. In, out, stepping backwards, out in, out in. Probably one of the hardest part of this form is, with so many back stands, getting them consistent. I yell at all my students all the time, back stance, or stances, stances, stances. You have to train your stances too many times. I don't know why this is. Moving forward, front stances are usually bigger than when we move backwards. Back stances are usually bigger when we move backwards. When you do these forms, you should end up where you begin. One of the most common problems is ending up behind where you started. Once again, that's because stepping forward, you're in a front stance, and stepping backwards, you're in a back stance. So make sure that your front stance, your back stance, they're still the same width. Okay, so we were stepping backwards, stepping backwards, out in, out. Once again, nice big back stance, all the way around, high block, high punch, high block, high punch. You don't want your high punches comically high. Keep in mind that when you're practicing your forms, your opponent is your size. Your opponent is your size. So you don't want to punch here, there's no power in that. Okay? Here, nose, forehead, ideally that's where we will be aiming. So, starting from the out in, stepping backwards, out in out, all the way around, high block, high punch, high block, high punch. Back to Jumbi. Then one more time, out in, stepping backwards, out in out, all high punch, high block, high punch. Back to Jumbi. Okay, so now let's put the whole thing together. Once again, this is Padwa Samchen, Padwa Samchen. Third, 8-sided form. So moving to the left, low block, stepping forward, middle punch, turning over your right shoulder, low block, stepping forward, middle punch, stepping to the front, low block, stepping forward, high block, ice, middle punch. All the way around, middle chop, middle chop, middle chop, middle chop. In, out, stepping backwards. Out in, out in, out in, out. All the way around, high block, high punch, high block, high punch. Back to Jumbi. Okay. Any questions over this form? Never hesitate to message me. Like I always say, every form has a reason. Everything we do in that form Sorry, still having internet issues. Everything we do in forms has an application. Has an application. Now, it could be something as simple as low block punch. You know, somebody stepping up to the left, stepping in for that low block or low kick, and I'm blocking that kick, stepping into the punch. Okay, the low block, high block, a middle punch. It could just be that. They're just pinwheeling, striking, and you're stepping in, blocking. One of my favorite applications for high block punch is, of course, a figure four. I'd love to demonstrate that. Figure four is probably one of my favorite joint locks, but that's what that means to me. It could be simply as high block. You're blocking a punch. You know, Bob is coming in for a round punch or a high punch, and you're stepping in for that high block. As you come through the control, stepping in for that high forearm strike to the face, to the chin to lift them up, whatever. So when you practice your forms, come up with your own applications. If you are having trouble with applications, message me. Message me. I love forms. With that being said, I like to practice my forms. You know, we've already said I like to practice them in thirds. First third, second third, last third, then all together. But the other third that I like to practice my forms is 3 months. I like the rule of 3 months when it comes to new forms, especially, mainly colored belt forms. Black belt forms are, in my opinion, are a little bit more to it than that. But 3 months. First month, practice the form. Just get a feel for it. Which direction do you move? Which blocks are you doing? That kind of thing. Second month, really break down the form. What am I doing? What am I accomplishing by doing this technique? And then the last month, just refining. Fixing your stances, fixing your blocks, make sure your timings are correct, that kind of thing. That being said, your forms are never done. There's always something to improve upon. Especially now that I'm recording these videos to put online, these classes to put online, I'm actually taking that and running with it. Don't get me wrong, part of me hates going back and watching them, but the other part of me loves going back and being like, oh, I need to work on this. I need to work on this. This is something else I need to work on. Because if you're ever satisfied with where you are at in your training, you're done. You're done. There's always something to improve upon. But we're moving on. Like I said, any questions about that form, don't hesitate to ask. Today we're going to work on reflex drills. Just some drills you're going to add at home to work on hand-eye coordination. Hand-eye coordination is very, very important. People are kind of amazed sometimes at, like going to the carnival, being able to throw darts or throw the baseballs when I'm not a sports guy. In high school, I played lineman for a reason. I couldn't throw a catch to save my life. But because of the martial arts, it has significantly helped improve my hand-eye coordination. So reflexes are very important to what we do. A lot of people, like when we spar and stuff like that, a lot of people think it's amazing sometimes that I can put my hand up before they even throw the punch. And it's not because I'm amazing or sixth sense or anything like that. It's just I've done it a long time and my eyes are not half bad. I can read subtle things that you're doing, and my brain just tells my hand, hey, that's where the punch is going to go. And these are drills that need to be added in. A lot of them are what you could call boring or slow, because you won't see a whole lot of progress with this type of training. But I'm going to insert a little parable here. Most of y'all that know me know I live my life by quotes. Mostly quotes were made up by people far smarter than me. And this parable is this young boy went to train at the Shaolin Temple. And he was there for 6, 7, 8 months. And every day he came out to train, and his instructor, his teacher would tell him, smack the water. And so he'd smack the water and be like, okay, cool, I'm ready to train now. Nope, smack the water. So that's what he was doing. He was sitting there smacking the water. Next day, came out, okay, I'm ready to learn something new. Nope, get back to the bucket, you're slapping water again. And he proceeded to slap water for months and months and months. And finally, when he was able to go home for holiday, his family was like, what have you learned? And he said, nothing. I'm like, come on now, you've been gone for months. You've had to learn something. And he's telling them, no, I'm serious. They don't teach me anything. They have me stand in front of this bucket of water and slapping it all day. And they're like, nah, seriously, you're underselling it. They had to have taught you something. And out of anger, he slapped the top of the table and broke it in half. Now, could it be true, could it not? I don't know. But that's the benefit of this type of training. You won't probably see results yourself, but I promise you they'll be there. One of the most important ones that I find is with a pen. With a pen. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, this is a zebra pen, one of the best self-defense pens on the planet, full stainless steel body. But that's not what we're going to be training. Eyes. Eyes are probably the most important part. Now, just like everything else in your body, eyes are a muscle that can be worked out, that can be exercised. So, really, really, really work on those muscles by improving them. This one is simple. What you're going to be doing is hold the pen in front of you. Just that difficult. And I want you to pick a spot, say 20, 30, 40 feet away, and I want you to stare at that spot, and the pen just happens to be in front of you. And then I want you to adjust your eyes to the pen, back to the distance, to the pen, back to the distance. Do that for about 3, 4, 5 times, and then relax. Relax. If you start getting a headache, please stop. Please stop. But this, believe it or not, is a lot harder than it seems. And try to make that transition as quick as possible. Focus into that pen. So you're going to look at the pen, Distance pen, distance pen, distance pen, distance pen, distance pen, distance pen. And do this for 4, 5, 6 sets. Now, just like every other muscle, you're not going to want to do this every single day. Every single day. I promise you, you do 3, 4, 5 sets of this, you will be feeling it. I know it sounds silly to say, it's your eyes. How much can it affect them? I promise you. After this video, find a pen, go to town. 3 to 5 sets. And then take a couple days off and do it again. Eye training is very, very important to what we do. Like I said, not only for hand-eye coordination, but a blink reflex. Once again, I can tell you another parable, or this was not a parable, this is true. Bruce Lee used to train in waist-deep water. And he'd sit there and smack the water because he wanted it to splash him in his face. Now, he did that because he wanted to train away his blink reflex. Now, I'd love to say that I've done that, but yeah, I haven't even come close. Eskrima and Filipino martial artists, they do the same thing. You know, they train in water with their sticks. 1, to help strengthen their grip so the stick doesn't slide out, but 2, like I said, smacking that water with that resistance, you know, help train the blink reflex away. But with this one, what we're working on is just some muscles in the eyes, being able to contract them in an instant. So, one more time, looking at a distance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know this makes riveting YouTube video, but it's a very important drill. Next drill. Now, if you have like a miniature ball pit at home or something, this drill is better for that. But I don't have a ball pit here or a bunch of different color balls, so I'm going to use these. I got a wiffle ball, a baseball, and a tennis ball. And this drill is simple. Let me step back so I can make sure that you see me. You're just going to put them down in front of you, hands on your legs, and then you're going to kind of mix them all, if you don't lose them. Try not to look at them, and then, very simple, you're going to call out one ball at random. Let's go with wiffle ball. And you're going to try to grab that ball as fast as you can. If you're doing it with the colored balls, which is way better, with these, you know, you can feel the texture. You can try not to remember which one's which, but you will. And try to grab that one ball as fast as you can. You know, work right hand, work left hand, put them back down, mix it up again. Maybe it'll be harder for me to figure out which one's which if I have them all in my hand. Okay, I'm going to say baseball. And just do this drill. Like I said, add it to your training. Do it 3, 4, 5, 6 sets. Take a break. 3, 4, 5, 6 sets. Take a break. Once again, this is just working on brain muscle condition. Being able to fire those neurons and tell your hand fast enough, hey, that's the one that I need to go for. Okay? Once again, great drill. Another drill. If you have one of these at home, great. If not, a tennis ball will work. One of these. I don't know if you can see that. Once again, 20-second delay. So these are amazing training tools, especially if you have a cinder block wall. If you don't have one of these, you'll be fine. You can use a tennis ball. We'll get to those in a minute. And it's simple. Just stand, fighting stance, in front of the wall, and just throw the ball. Try to keep the ball in motion. Don't let it stop. You can vary the speed, you can vary the height, but great training, drill. If you have one of these can be infuriating sometimes, but once again, great drill. Same concept, stand in a fighting stance, throw it against the wall, and catch. Catch, 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 catch. Oh, and I lost that one. But once again, try to keep the ball in motion. Try to keep the ball in motion. If you have a training partner, have them throw the ball at you. Or they could stand in front of you, say hold the ball yay high and drop it, and you have to catch it. At say 3-foot distance. Drop it, catch it. Drop it, catch it. Drop it. Now, you can't really do this by yourself because you know when you're dropping the ball. Okay, last drill. Here's where I'm probably going to embarrass myself a little bit. Hand, coin, quarter on the back of the hand. Just going to toss it up and catch. Now, you don't want to toss it up and just turn your hand over. There's no reflexes involved in that. Coin on the back of the hand, up, catch. Coin on the back of the hand, up, catch. Coin on the back of the hand, up, catch. If you're just starting out, you feel you're slow, you just keep dropping it, toss it up a little higher and catch. Toss it up a little higher and catch. Or if you really are confident, you can try just for a little lob. Now here's where I embarrass myself. When you get confident, you can add more coins. More coins. And the trick with this is, once again, don't, see I couldn't even do it, cheating. Don't just turn your hand over to catch the coin. Make sure that when you are tossing it, you're actually catching it. That you're actually catching it here. And once again, when you start feeling a little bit confident, you can go to the 2. I did it the first time. Let's see if I can do it 2 times in a row. 2 times in a row. Let's see if I can do it again. 3 times. Do I get cocky and try for 3? I'll get cocky and try for 3. Missed the last one. But anyway, great drill, easy to train at home, does not require a whole lot of room. Anyway, guys, I'll let y'all go. Make sure that you add these. Pick a day of the week where, hey, I'm going to work on my eyes and my reflex drills. Oh, one more. Okay, sorry about that. One more. You can do this with a broomstick. You can do this with a regular strip stick. Hold it out in front of you. You're trying to open your hands and catch it. And just see how many you can get in a stick. Now, this is hard because you got to try not to cheat. Like for instance, cheat. I can just kind of just open up my hand just enough to let it slide down and catch. The trick is to open up your hand all the way and try to re-grab it. You want to make sure you get that full hand open before you try to grasp it. And this is a great one because you actually get to measure your progress. Let's say there's a broomstick that you always train with, or you have a screamer sticks that lying around that you go to train with. Keep count. How many times can you open your hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Before you actually lose it without resetting. So this is a good one in the fact that you can measure your progress. I guess you can with the coins also. As a matter of fact, that's everybody's homework. I want everybody to tell me how many coins they got up to this weekend. And hey, if you bust like 4 or 5, please record it and send it to me. Please, I'd be dying to see it. Because I've done 3, I don't see me doing 4. I'm not that quick. But anyway, guys, y'all have a great evening, and I will see y'all Tuesday. If you liked, please leave a like. If you're new, please consider subscribing. Other than that, y'all have a great evening, and I will see y'all Tuesday. Jumbi, get up. Heel right. Dismissed.